Hey everybody, welcome back. Want to work on some PanzerBlitz again. Want to try to finish this one up. I'm not sure if I will. It's a beautiful day. 85 for a high today here in Fargo, North Dakota. I got out and did some walking today. I'm trying to get some weight off. My son became a Marine as of Thursday morning, so going to get up. We get to go out and see him for graduation. They were currently canceled because of COVID, but they opened them up to 2 people per recruit, and we get to go. So we are fired up about that. So congratulations to my boy for accomplishing that. And I've been out walking, put on 1.6 miles today, and been peeling off some weight, and just need to get in shape because I'm going to make that parade ceremony if it's the last thing I do. So I wanted to get some PanzerBlitz in today. Kind of winding down. I got myself a big old jar of water, and thought this would be fun. I'm not sure if anyone's stopping by. I don't know where my wife went, so she'll probably sneak through here when she gets home because the door to our house is right over there, basically. But I wanted to have some fun, so we were going to be starting the next turn. I did learn a lot thanks to a gentleman over on Board Game Geek. He helped me out with a few things I was doing wrong, like when you're next to a slope and you're attacking down, you don't get halved. And when you're firing from hilltop to hilltop, you don't get halved. Stuff like that. So, we did a lot of stuff okay. I also did not realize that you can transport, you can load, or you can transport, or you can move and untransport. But you can't move and untransport. I thought it was move and untransport or load up and transport. I didn't see the little or in there. So these little mortars got a little bonus movement. That being said, this tank over here should have probably been dead underneath this infantry. So there's been some little mistakes on both sides. But thanks to the community, we'll try to clear those up. Let's see, what was I going to say? I was going to go look and see what else he had said on that. I put him on the first video. So attacking from a hilltop to a slope next to me, I would not have halved my cat attack. Couple other trucks move is 2 in the clear, not 1. If you cat attack, you attack the whole stack, not just one in the stack, which I don't know if I did that, but apparently later in that video I did. And when I figured my adjacent armor on a hilltop, hex is doubled for half range and then half for hill slope. Forgot to half it. Shooting from hilltop to hilltop, I should not have halved the 88s on the SU. So some minor stuff there, not too bad. Again, this is not a how-to video. This is just me playing it. But if you see something wrong, point it out because I want to play through all the situations eventually, and it'd be nice to do it right. We all know that things get missed in games and stuff and whatever. That's not a big deal. That's just the way it is. But anyway, so let's play some PanzerBlitz. Remember to hit subscribe. Broke 200 subscribers this week, so thank you for all you new subscribers. I think it's been like 15 new ones in the last week. And remember to hit the little bell icon so you get notifications. And I don't know. Let's see. How's everything looking? I'd like to keep this one about an hour. I've got the windows and everything open behind me. I want to enjoy the fresh air and the sunlight and everything because here in North Dakota we spend about 5-6 months indoors pretty much. So I want to enjoy that. But let's, without further ado, let's mark these guys unmoved right there. And then let's go mark turn number 4. I thought based on the mistakes I made, I was going to start over, but it wasn't too bad. And I'd like to just keep moving forward. And I think both sides have gotten robbed on a few minor things. So keeping that in mind. So last time we got interrupted because I forgot my daughter's car was broken down and she called me 3 times during the end of the video. So I just want to find the sequence of play and I don't want to blast through that. The German, we'd done all of our attacks. Okay, so I just needed to get rid of these dispersions and stuff. Oops, I want to do that. Oh, you know what? I could have. Oh, you can't flip that guy. Because I watched the other video and he got dispersed and there's no way to mark that and I don't like that. So, all right, so I think we're good. Nope, we got another strip here. If anyone ever updates this, it'd be nice to remove all fire markers. But again, not complaining because guys put a lot of work into these, and I haven't built any. I built some made to camp modules way back in the day, but I haven't done any vassals, so beggars can't be choosers, right? And we certainly shouldn't be whiners. All right, so let's get back into play, and then let's hope we don't make any of those same mistakes. I did realize, the other reason I didn't want to restart is I did realize some tactical errors, like right here, putting an 88 out here in this open. He can be shot at from a distance. This guy, though, in the woods, without knowing it, was a brilliant placement on my part because you have to have a spotter to shoot at him or be next to him, you know, and spotting him. So that's pretty good. The optional rules that we're going to use is indirect fire for mortars, that they have that option. And we're using the real space line of sight with the line of sight tool. We're not using PanzerBlitz assault or ammunition rules, and we're not using any of the experimental rules. All right, so turn 4. I believe we moved it already. Yep. And we go through turn 10. So let's continue with the gameplay. So Germans, there's no minefield attacks. Player announces which of his units are attacking which Russian units and what attacking techniques are being used. Now, it never said in the book, you know, I've been saying that you have to declare all your attacks. It doesn't say that. It does say you have to declare all of your units attacking a specific hex or unit per se. So if I don't do that, not a big deal, but I've been declaring all my future cat attacks and everything, and that is not... So reading through it, I might have been being a little too strict on that. I don't know if it matters that much because there's not that many units to pick from per se, but we'll go from there. So this has no attack value, and we still got these guys, but now we have some infantry here to help that poor tank, so that kind of hoses us on that whole deal because we had 1-to-1, which should have been 2-to-1 with a -2. So that tank should have been dead. But it is what it is. We'll just say there was a lack of communication on the assault, and it didn't go well, and that's just the way it is. Because we got to attack everybody. Now we have these cavalry here that are helping out, and these guys on this slope are going to be halved if they don't find a better place to attack from. So I don't know what to... Okay, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm starting to think of the Russians. So let's just look at these Germans again. Now, this right here, he can't fire because of this slope unless he fires onto a hill. Okay? And I'm going to say that that's good. Now, if it hits the green, it's not. And this isn't perfect because this line of sight does not snap to the center of the hex. So you got to ballpark it. But I think we're good, right? I think it's close enough. I'm gonna give it. It looks like a little bit of an angle. I'd have to move up here to be touching it, and that's not accurate because I'd have to be straight across like here for it to be going straight across here. So I'm going to say that's in line of sight. So we got an attack there. So I'm probably going to fire there. This guy is going to be firing here down into this area. Actually, he's probably going to fire to this area because there's a slope here that blocks. Now, somebody had told me that these don't block when you're on a hilltop, but I looked up under obstacles and elevations, special notes under C says when firing from a hilltop to a ground level target, the line of sight, from a ground level target, the line of sight is obstructed by intervening brown hex side symbols. So hilltop to a slope is not. So that's the part I missed. So when I'm firing on a slope, so C is hilltop to a ground level target. The hilltop is obstructed by intervening brown hex side target if it's closer. So not if it's... All right, so that's what that guy meant, is firing at the slope. So I could wail away at this guy here. But the problem is now there's an infantry in it, so I don't get to be doubled. Because you get if there's an armored and an infantry an unarmored target, the benefit of the doubt goes to the defender, so that's considered an unarmored target, which is normal. Oh no, it's half. Okay. So that's really hosing me. What about here? I could still plug away at this guy. He's only an 8. Can I see him? Yeah, because it's got to go through that green line, which it does not. Friendlies don't block. Other units don't block. So I could fire at that guy up there. He's only a defense of 8. So I'll probably end up doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think he, oops. Line of sight. Let's see if he can fire. Okay, so I've been ignoring this guy, which we should not be doing. Oh no, he's behind the slope. So they can't fire, and he can't go there because then it does hit the corner of that green because it's straight across. What else do you got? Do you got anybody here? Nobody there. Those would block because he's on ground. That blocks because of the orange. That blocks because of the orange. Okay, so he's a non-factor yet. Once these guys overwhelm this hill, which I don't know if they're gonna. I thought this hill would be easy peasy, and even without my mistakes, with my mistakes, it's not that easy. What do we got here? Let's check. So this guy here was going to fire here. So let's go ahead and do that. And then this guy is going to fire at this cav unit. Try to weaken the Russian attack. What do we got here if he fires at this guy? See, that takes away my armor then again, though. That's kind of stinkola. We could fire at this guy here. It's a range of 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, those. Now, the woods only block if you're adjacent to. They don't block halfway across. Just want to triple check that. Yeah, it's only obstructed if you're directly behind a green hex side. So that won't save those. So we're going to probably fire at those mortars instead. Because if we fire at this guy here, he's got some pretty good defense. He's got a 20. If we fire over here, it's a 4. And he's only going to get, I think, half. You know, when I move these that's infantry and cavalry. As I say, when I move that cavalry in there, I just hose my 88s because the target are not that good. This guy can only fire 5, so he's a non-factor. 3, he's a non-factor. He's in a horrible spot. Unless I would have come from this way, but that, whatever. All right, so let's just, who do we want to fire at? Tough decisions. So if I fire at that, let's take a look at the modifiers just to make sure. I could fire at the weakest unit and fire at the the wagon. That seems kind of... I guess I could do that and then go after him later. Otherwise, I can go after the whole stack as a 4. So let's see what stuff does. So target elevation, hilltop to ground level. And it's like C note C. So the only thing that would block it is a brown intervening one. I wonder why they only have C note C on there, and then there's like note A, which tells you, but anyway. So then if we go over to the weapons effect chart, I should probably do these where you're looking too. So terrain effects chart. This doesn't really do this. Well, that doesn't give the, where it is, there it is, hilltop, C note B. Oh, this has better notes. Should have been using this. When firing from ground level to a target on a hilltop or slope, line of sight is blocked if the firing unit is directly behind a green or gray X. So, All right, so the slopes will never get blocked when they're on the slope. So that's the one I was doing wrong. All right, so that doesn't get blocked. He's in the clear. And then let's look at the weapon effectiveness chart. So this is an armor piercing and all others, including trucks. So unless it's an armored vehicle, it's half. So I got two choices. Oh, and then it's half because of distance. So it's 10, it's a 5 against a 4. So I could either, maybe I will go after that dumb truck just to knock it out. Combat results. So 1-to-1, the best I can do is disperse them. So I got to go after the dumb truck. Because that's only a 1. And I can pick on the weakest unit. And I'm a 5, so it'll be on the 4-to-1. So it's an auto kill. So I'm going to do that. And that's going to slow down the mobility. And these guys got some free mobility anyway, so they kind of deserve it. So I would roll the dice, and no matter what I get, dead. So let's grab the truck and move him to the graveyard. The scenario does not affect, there's no effect destroying, oops, I don't want to flip him. There's no victory conditions based on Russian losses. Apparently they don't care. But there is for dead Germans. But the more Russians we get rid of, the better, and that truck will take away some mobility. All right, let's do this dude here. Because this is going to be a cat attack over here, I think. Because that's a 9. Be a 9 against 21, or a 9 against 20. Bummer. So we'll want to do a cat attack because we get our engineer shift at a -2. So maybe we can reap some big damage. I didn't see any rules where you can't fire at a hex and then cat attack it, because you can move and cat attack. So let's see. Let's cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's look at what he wants to shoot at. So he can shoot there, and that's at 8 hex range. That's at 9. So neither of them are going to cut in half, but he's going to cut down to a 10 because of, yeah, he's got to go after this guy. That's only going to disperse. Gosh. So basically, one of the things I'm thinking is if you get infantry units mixed with armor, that does benefit the armor units quite a bit. And there's no armor there. And that would end up being a 21-10. So that'd be a 1-3. Yuck. So we might as well go after this guy. It's an 8-10, so it's not quite 1-1, so it ends up being a 1-2, and I need a 2 to, because he's out in the open on a hilltop. So here we are rolling the dice, get a 5, so no effect. It was a lot more fun when they were just armored targets. Okay, so that's all the guys firing, right? Because my infantry's not going to fire. So then if you go over the turn sequence, you do, it's normal combat die rolls, and then German player moves as many face-up vehicle units as he desires. Oh, you know what? I think I've been kind of, I don't know, maybe I was skipping that. So I got to move vehicles first, and then non-vehicle units, and make close assault attacks. Okay, so vehicles first. So one of the things I'm considering is these guys start running towards these guys to kill them. But once he gets away from that infantry, that's going to be brutal. So I think we'll stick around there. These are non-vehicles, but they're all off, so they're all going to contribute. We got to get this thing. It's just, it won't die. It's like the mega fortress that just won't go down. So I think we're going to leave everybody where they're at. everyone's protected with infantry with them, so combined attacking, historically that was best. I guess that works itself into the game best. The only thing is, it'd be nice to have one extra guy for this guy, but he's dead because he's going to get picked off by these guys. Eventually, they're going to roll good and disperse him or something. Okay, so let's go ahead. I don't know why I'm thinking of the Russians. I'm on the Germans. So no German vehicles. Sorry about that. So then non-German vehicles. So we're going to shift this infantry here. This infantry can use road movement and move 2 to here. This guy can use road movement, move 2 to here. And then this guy, road movement or not, he'll go to there. So the Germans are starting to flood to the northern tip of this hill. And this is starting to look like probably a Russian loss because of the inept attacker ability. But we will continue. We will see what happens. Okay, so they're all done. We're done moving. He's going to cat attack. And I think we'll cat attack down. Because the slope won't help them, but the woods will actually help these guys. It's 20, and this is 21, and it's not going to matter because we have a whopping 9. So either way, if you do the math, it's going to be 1 to 3. Okay, so it's 1 to 3. Because we'll just double check. So on cat attacks, so to make sure I'm not missing, I just read all this before I started, but I just don't want to mess it up. Take place after all movement, after overruns. Can't make a normal attack. So you subtract 2 from the die roll. If there's engineers, you get 1 shift to the right. Doesn't say anything about not using the terrain. The slopes don't do anything, though. I don't think. So let's look at the terrain effects chart. Slopes. Attack value is half. Now that's unless you're attacking down a slope, then you don't. If you're right next attacking down from a hilltop, you're not halved. That's what I was doing wrong earlier. Okay, so infantry. There are tanks involved. We have to attack them as a group, so only close assault. So that should be it. So we're at 1 to 3, but it shifts up to 1 to 2. And we get a -2. So if we get lucky and get a 1, we can kill that stack. A 3 goes to a 1, so they get dispersed. And you can mark them both. So they're both dispersed. So that makes me think I'm just not understanding the combined tactics. It wouldn't have mattered because he rolled horrible, but I probably should be firing at these guys because I'm just thinking, I'm only going to get a dispersal where I could have got, so I should have been maybe doing that because 2 dispersals can end up being a kill if you're lucky. You get the double D. Anyway, it just seems like I'm not quite doing well on my attacks and understanding the best ways to attack. Okay, so that's it for close assault attacks. So then you'd flip everyone over that's fired. And clear all the movement. And now we're on to the Russians. So there's no mortar or minefield attacks. So the German player announces which attacking Russian units are attacking and what attack techniques are being used. Okay, so the problem is all these cavalry can only cat attack this. He's dispersed, so now that takes him out of it. It's just turning into. I'm not gonna even move from this freaking area of the map. It's like, do I just say the heck with it and start moving this way, or what? It just does not. But that does not seem like a good plan, because then I'm gonna get peppered by these guys getting there now. And, oh, somebody else should do another playthrough of Scenario 1 and let me learn, because I am not learning. All right, so we're going to fire all the tanks we can. Well, let's see. Let's add it up and see if it's worth it. So we got a tank here that's 9. We got a tank here that's 9. 18. All these mortars that have line of sight, so that's 8. So, but they're firing uphill, so these guys end up being a total of 9, because it's going to have. Right? Let's go look at the charts. Terrain effect, hilltop attackers, and if you're next to them but going up the hill, you don't get the benefit of it. So, this is considered armor, so it'd be normal because they're next to it, so they don't get halved for that. So they're going to be a whole whopping. Oh no, I'm sorry, I took the 9s. They're 12s. So they end up getting to be a total of 12. All right. These guys would each be 1s because he's uphill. We'll say they're 5. I don't know if you do them each individually, but either way, it's going to be 1 to 3. A 1 to 3, we got a 1 in 6 chance of dispersing them. All right, so let's do that. Nothing. All right, next turn we're moving on. Unless there's an amazing moment here of the cat attack. This is a waste of time. We are never going to take that. How are we not going to take that clown? I got kind of, sucked into wanting to take that because he's worth 5. Then the CP would be worth 1. So that's 6, 7, 8. Then I think I'm 1 away from... Oh, that would give me a... So if I destroy everybody on this hill, I basically get a marginal victory. But I don't even think I'm going to destroy 1 on this hill. All right, so armored vehicles that didn't fire could now move, except for dispersed units, so they're all stuck. And now we do our cat attack. So he's on a clear hill, but he's on a hill. So these guys are halved. So 10, 20, 30. That's actually a little bit better. So that's going to be a 30. Let's make sure I'm not missing anybody. There's 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. And oh no, we got that guy too. So, and he's an 8. Oh, we're so close. Okay, so here's the big deal. That little dispersal kept us from getting 1-to-1 odds on this bad boy, which would have been 2-to-1 with a No, it wouldn't have been 2-to-1 because we don't have engineer. We don't have any engineer. But 1-to-1 with a -2, juice. Okay, so there's a 1-to-2 with a -2. If we get a 1, we get lucky. We get a 5. So that stinks. What? Okay. All right, everybody. So everybody flips over now. Everyone hasn't fired. How stubborn. Okay, you know what? If the Germans disperse guys again, we're moving on. because we're not able to attack. And we're probably going to lose this mortar from this shot. Okay, so there's no mine. Oh, next turn. Turn 5. No minefield attacks. So then we move. Oh, no, now we do attacks. Ranged attacks. We don't have to declare the cat attack. We're going to try that again. So if we fire this guy here, that's a 21 against a 10 now because of the infantry making this guy cut in half. Because it says you see what type of units are in the hex, and if they're even, then it benefits the defender, while when he fires at non-armored units, he gets cut in half. Otherwise, he'd be ripping through this guy, which would really pretty much take away the chances of this guy getting destroyed. So, okay, let's do, it's 21 to 10, so that's going to be 1 to 3. And then this guy's, I don't know if you'd have to declare him. I've been declaring him. He's going to fire at this guy. See what we can do. It's going to be a 10 to 3. I think it's 10 to 3. Oh, wait, did we say he was... No. Did I do that wrong? Oops. Hope not. It's range 19. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, this doesn't block unless you're next to it. So, yeah, we can fire that. None of these guns can fire, and we're just moving infantry up to get over to help defend. And then we'll have a cat attack. Okay, so let's do this one first. Oh, that little line of sight thing falls off right away. So here to here. Okay? Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. I can't fire over these. I can only fire at another unit on a hill. Sorry about that. Let's go find the... Is he not allowed to... Oh, you can't move him out here once he's dead? Alright, be that way. I'll just go clone you. Okay, because this hilltop blocks him to there. He can fire at these guys, though. So we might as well, because it's not going to help us not to. Okay, so let's take off the move stuff. And then let's go to this, because we don't want to have a wrong KIA. Okay, sorry about that. Corrected that. Okay. So this guy's going to end up firing it here just because he can do nothing else. We might as well take a shot and get lucky. Eddie, quiet. Okay, so that's certainly going to be over 10. And we were saying that green doesn't affect it. You got to get right in the middle. So it's close, but I'm calling it that it doesn't. So that's going to be a defense of 20 against 10, so 1 to 2. Oh, not that. Oh, we just burned up a 1, but we did disperse everybody in there. I guess I didn't say it, but I was firing at the whole stack. I probably should have... Oh, you know what? You can only do that. Oh, you know what? Live and learn, man. I could have fired at 1 to 1 at that. That still would have just dispersed him, though. I could have fired at 1 to 1 at the... I can't kill anybody, though, at that range. So that was fine. That was fine to do that. All right, now let's do this guy at this guy here, because he's only going to disperse this guy, right? Because he's a 10 to 8, so 1 to 1. So we might as well fire at this guy and hopefully disperse him and then get another, maybe get a double dispersal on this guy. So we got 21 against 10, so that's 1 to 3, because we know he's cut in half because of that target, but range he's fine. So 1 to 3, We need a 1. We just burned a 1. We get a 5, so nothing. Nothing. Okay, movement. Armor movement. No armor to move. Really starting to wonder if these guys start running over there to help. But as soon as they get out in the open, these guys are just going to pounce. So we're not going to do that. We are going to move this guy down the road because we're moving non-vehicle units now. And what do we got here? Well, we'll move this guy down the road. This guy can move down the road to here. Does he want to stack there? He's going to go here because he'll be able to make an adjustment before anything major goes down. He can either pounce here or jump on with this guy and defend that road coming up the hill. That's it. So they'd be done moving. So now we do our cat attack. So we got 21. It was 9. I think that was 1 to 3. Yeah. Because it was 2.22, right? 2.3. So it's 1 to 3. It shifts up to the 1 to 2 because of the engineer, and we get a -2 because of the cat attack. Oh! That is a -1. Wait, no, isn't it? It's a 0. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Wait, 1 minus. Yeah, we knock out the whole stack. All dead. I got confused because I could not believe it. Now we're in trouble. Now we are probably not going to take that stupid fortress. The Germans thumped them. That was good. So that would be the end of that. We flip everyone that fired at the end of the turn, any dispersed units that are German, and we go on to the Russian turn. Yeah, this is a complete botch now. Now, there was some debate on the Board Game Geek forums on infantry or cavalry being infantry versus vehicles. And there's arguments on both sides I like, but I'm going to treat them as infantry because they have an eye above them for infantry weapons. So I'm not going to treat them as a vehicle. So, and that has to do with your movement on slopes and things where it would just be 1 for infantry. So the cavalry can move for 1. So like I said, there was some pretty interesting discussions on that. I see both arguments. I'm going to play cavalry as non-vehicles. Also, the way they're listed as units in the unit org thing here. If you look, you can't. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but vehicles are listed with the color pink, and all the guns and infantry are listed as white, and the cavalry are white as well. So that's what I'm basing that off of. I would encourage you to figure out for your own group or yourself how you want to play that. I see arguments on both sides that fit that, but I'm going to give them a little bit more mobility that way. So, what do we do now? Well, what does that even do? I guess I didn't even look at what the terrain effect is on that for slopes. Yeah, all other vehicles. So it's vehicles that are affected. So I'm not treating them like vehicles. Okay, the Russians get to go. Yeah, this is getting pretty bad. We have to. At this point, I almost want to just call it for the German player because we're not going to take. We've been giving everything we got at this thing, and we just cannot take it. And now we just lost an infantry and a tank. We lost a T-34 unit and a SMG unit. That's brutal. And these guys can't do anything. And we're on the other side of this hill, so if we try to move around here, we got roadblocks. Let's see what that. What does a Ford do? Treat as clear terrain, no leaving penalty. Okay. So basically, we got 2 tanks left. We got Is it two T-34s? Yeah, we got two T-34s. I got 88s that can shoot it. I think we're going to try to swing around this mountain, and if we lose much more, we're just going to call it. Okay, so vehicles first. Now let me look at the transports because that's where I got confused last time. So I just want to make sure. Again, I just read all this, but I want to make sure. It's under movement. Transporting units may either load or transport and unload. Okay. So I'm going to treat that as vehicle movement because these are vehicles. So they're going to be marked as moved or not. Should put a move mark on them, but okay, so we know they're both loading up. This guy's loading up. I mean, this is bad. This is just super bad. These are not vehicles, so the tanks will move next. Tanks got, looks like 11 movement, so 3, 6, 9. Let's check out if we can peek around that corner. Yeah, we'd be fine. Pretty sure. Yeah. So 3, 6, 9. You wouldn't want to go there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're going to be out in the open though. All right, so let's go around this. So 3, 6, 9. Can't quite get the other one. That's, oh, I forgot this too. Another wreck marker. Douche. It's one of my favorite parts of the game is seeing where units were knocked out. What do we got here? I think it was just, yep, it was just they're dispersed anyway, so it don't matter. Oh, he can load up. Yeah, because he can't get shot at because of the hill. He might be able to get shot at by this guy, though. Chance we'll have to take, I guess. Well, let's see. So he loaded up. Six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that does block because he's on the bottom and it's closer to him. So he's safe. So he's loaded up. They're all loaded up. Now we have, so there's no attacking. So now we have cavalry and infantry, and they can each move. They move 3. So 1, 2, 3. Not only blocks if he gets next to it. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. He'll be a target. I'm going to have to get people out in the open and try to get there. Some of you are probably going, dude, move over there. But 1, 2, 3. And if we just start, well, then that opens up this guy firing at him. I mean, geez Louise. He's probably going to have shots at him anyway, so. Oh, I got to read what the block thing says. I've never moved on that. So I better make sure I'm not doing anything. Blocks may be placed anywhere. A unit may only enter a hex block if it begins its turn directly adjacent. Oh, so you can't even move on there. Alright, so he can't move there. Yeah, okay, well that's fine. He's going to go to here. Oops, don't take the block with you, buddy. He's going to go to there. So he went 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a minute. He might as well go 1, 2, 3 and get closer then. So because there's no zone of control. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll make these clowns come off their hill. And we might as well go 1, 2, 3. So give them a target-rich environment and hope that we can start We're going to have to get really lucky. I think if we lose any more Russians, I'm just going to call it as a complete victory for the Germans, but we'll give it a shot. So we'll clear the moves, flip anybody over that's dispersed, and we'll go to the record track. So we're on turn 6. No minefield attacks. So now we have to declare our attacks. Then we get some juicy, rich environment stuff to shoot at. So he'll be able to fire. This guy will be able to fire. These guys are getting close to being able to fire. I didn't realize that. 1, 2, 3. Good thing I didn't get that close. I was so busy thinking about the short range for infantry, I didn't realize I just got myself hosed. So we'll fire those 2 guns. The only benefit is they're going to be halved because they're firing at non-armored vehicles. And this guy would be halved again because he's going to be... yeah. That's 6 and 5 is halfway, and 7. It's a pretty handy little tool. So, wait a minute. In all fairness, I got to move these for the... I forgot these guys. Oh, no, they were dispersed. So, I can't move. They couldn't have moved. All right, so I think what we're going to do, there's no armored targets, so he's going to fire at that guy. He's going to fire at that guy. And then we'll see about moving and close assaulting with these maybe when we're done. So let's see what happens. All right, this guy to this guy. So we go over here. The slope doesn't matter because he's on a hilltop, so it doesn't cut it. Oh, that's not right. You know what? Since we're going to cut in half, I think we're going to try for the kill. Dispersing these guys doesn't do a whole lot except, and if I fire him, that's going to be a 10 because he's cut in half. And then he's going to be a 3.5. So that's a 13.5 against, it's 1 to 1. Yeah. Because he's at offense 8. So that's a whole 1 to 1. So the most I can do is disperse them. So we'll just do that. These guys will both... Because if I fire at this one, that's 10. That's already 1 to 1. So I might as well fire at this guy because it's not going to get any better. Let's do this guy first. So this guy at 1 to 1. We get a 5. Pretty much no effect. The slope thing, for whatever reason, is giving me a roadblock big time. So, target elevation, not elevation, terrain effects. Sorry about this. I read it all before we started. Now that's really getting me. Hilltop to a slope is none. Okay, it just says none. I don't know why that's sticking in my brain and messing with me, but it is. Okay, so that doesn't affect him. But he's... Oh, wait, he's high explosive. So he's not going to quarter. Well, I already did that one, so that's fine. So he's going to be a 7 because of range. Because if we look at high explosive, normal, but it's over half range, so it's a 7. It's a 1 to 2. So that would have been a 17, so we would have had 2 to 1 there. So wake up, Steve-O. Okay, so we get 1 to 2. Let's see if it's even going to matter. We rolled a 4. I'm pretty sure that's nothing. 1 to 2. Yep. So anyway, not sure. We had a 5 over there. So even I guess we would have dispersed them. Big whoopee ding though. I guess might be a whoopee ding if they get there. They're gonna. So this little thing here, they just use it as a clear to. As my understanding is, that's what the Ford does. So let's see if it says anything different on this thing. Stream Ford, treat as clear, no leaving penalty. Yep. Okay. So they fired. He fired. Now we move non. And we can stack 3. I gotta remember that with the Germans, they can stack 3. So I think we're gonna bring this dude over here. I like to put them underneath so I don't forget my guns. This guy is gonna go. You know what? He's gonna go there. So I think that's gonna be a pretty juicy hex then with a 5, 10, and a 1. That's a 16. This guy's going to move 2 down this road, and that's it. Well, that's not it. What do we want to do with these guys? I'm thinking of moving them here and cat attacking these guys. Because we still get the benefit of the woods right here, and we don't have to deal with them. So let's do that. Is that going to benefit us? So if I move there and cat attack, that's a 9 against an 8. That's going to be a 1-to-1. And it's going to shift to 2-to-1 to the -2. I think that's our best bet. Because that's a 20. Yeah, let's do that. So these guys are both going to move this way. Command post going, where the heck do you think you're going, buddy? And then they're going to cat attack there. So it's 9-to-8, so 1-to-1. Oh, and earlier I was doing attacks. I think I had a 1-to-5 attack that I did. I think you got to be at least 1-to-4 based on how the rules read. All right, so 1-to-1. We shift to 2-to-1 because of the engineer with a -2. So we should get some good result here. Oh, that's a kill. That is another kill. So all you Russian players, and I typically like playing the Russians for whatever reason. I apologize because this is a shame. The Russians are just they have the worst leadership in the world. I'm going to swing around the tanks, I think, and see what happens. But basically, we would flip over everyone that's fired, any dispersed Germans, and we're done. So no minefield attacks for the Russians. We'd have to declare firing. We have none. We might do a cat attack here because we're sick and tired of this business. That's a 10. I just don't have engineers, though. If I did a regular attack, it's... Wait, no, that's an 18. Oh, that is an 18 to a 16. You know what? I might end up attacking. Maybe I need to light those guys up. We need to do some damage. So if I do a single attack, I think I can attack with as many guys as I want, but I can go after the weakest ones. On a selective attack, only one unit, the weakest, is attacked. The others are ignored and may not be attacked. But it doesn't say I can only attack with one guy. So you know what? I think we're going to do that. And that's probably been one of our big mistakes, is going after the all or none. Because here I have an 18, and I could go after that SMG unit with a 6. So we're going to do that, I think. So we're going to fire that. These guys have a range of 3. They could fire. Because here I'm firing. I'm not. Because otherwise he's just going to get to there. And he spots, so he can fire in there. So if we added 10 more, what does that do? 18, 28, 28 to 6. I think we're going to go for that SMG and go for some blood here for the Germans. So we're going to do that. Okay, so let's go through the charts to make sure. So train effects charts. Oh, he's going to be halved because he's not on the hill. So that's a 5. I think that's still worth it, though. 18 and 5 is 23, so that's... Well, either way, it's 3-to-1, so he might as well move. Yep, he's not going to... Because he gets cut in half, which makes him a 5. which gives us a 23. We need that 24. So we're just off. But anyway, these guys are firing, right? And it's a woods. So add 1 to the attacker die roll. So we got to add 1 to the die roll. And it's at 3-1 though, because we got 18 attacking just this guy here, right? This SMG. So 18-6. So it's going to be a 3-1 with a +1, and then let's just check the weapon. We should be fine there. So it's just normal against other infantry. So nothing fancy. So combat results table. We have a 3-1 with a +1, so we got a chance. We get a 1, so that's going to be a kill. So the Russians are finally on the board, working towards some victory. And that's the end of firing, because nobody else can really fire, and it didn't pay for him to fire. So part of me wants to move back up on that hill and attack those engineers next turn. And then we just say the heck with this and move forward. I think we're going to do that. Let's see next turn. I got to think ahead a little bit. So that's 18, 10, and 20 would give me a 38 against him. And if we cat attack him, life would be pretty good. So let's look at movement cost. Woods. Okay, it doesn't cost any extra. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I'm doing vehicle movement. Sorry. Clear movement. Vehicle movement first. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is one brave tank. Oh, you know what? I got to move one of those guys in there and cut him in half, or it's just going to be a shooting fest. Yeah, we got to do that. So this is 3. I think it's half to move into that, so it'd probably be best to do that. Yep. 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6, 7, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. Oh, now I got a choice. Do I leave one of my tanks out to die? I don't know if I'm gonna move my cavalry on top to help them. 1, 2, 1, 2. We got to protect them with a combined attack. As much as I wanted. Oh, get ahead of myself. Sorry. These are non-vehicle. These are not. And this is going to take forever. But this is a half. That's all they can do, because that's a 4. So I can go a half, 2.5. 1, 2, 3. 1.5. We're gonna have to go through these woods for 2, 4. Or no. My goodness. Okay. So these guys, I've managed to take out, 4 of my units and make them non-effective. This is really embarrassing. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, now I can move my infantry. They can't, so now I'm just going to move these cav back there and protect those tanks. And that's it. But that, we drew some damage, so Claire moved. Claire fired. I should have just used the. I can't because they're behind. Oh, you still got to be able to spot them. Yeah, we're just gonna have to keep moving those wagons around. This has just been a horrible attack. I apologize, Russian players. All right, so next turn 7. No minefield attacks, so now shooting attacks. So I'm pretty sure this guy, so 1, 2, 3, 4, he can't shoot. This guy, the hill's in the way, same with him. He can't reach. I've taken him out of this whole area. But these guys can. And I think we're going to fire just, let's look at the odds here. So the total defense strength we have is a 17. And that's going to be the same on both of these. They've taken away the armored ability because they're the same amount, the defender gets the benefit of non-armored target. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's halfway, and that's halfway. So they just get cut in half. So 10 and 7 ends up being a 17 against a 17. So 1-1. That's the best odds I got. So I might as well, if I disperse them, they can't get through them because they can't move through them on a ford. I would assume you can't do that like a road. I guess it doesn't say. Okay, let's see if it matters. So it's 1-1 because 14 or 17 to 17. Oh. Tell you what. So that's going to disperse all those dudes, and now I got to look up that rule. Let's see what it says about a ford. Can you move through a ford? Movement. So road movement, it says you can't move through another unit if they're... What does it say for fords? Treat as clear terrain, no leaving penalty. It doesn't treat it like a road, though. So I'm going to say they can move through there. If somebody else knows of a different rule, let me know. So it's going to break up that attack. They fired. Oops, wrong guy. Now oh, you know what? Wake up, dude. You got guys in range. I'm just assuming here. So normally I'd fix that and go back, but because the Russians are having such a tough time, I'm going to self-penalize myself that I did not include. Wouldn't have mattered. If I included all of those, it would be a 1, 2, 3.5 more because of range. So it wouldn't have mattered. But I was going to impose a penalty on them because the poor guys haven't had a prayer. Be nice if these guys all would have had a movement of 1. Of course, that would make it near impossible. All right, so no vehicles to move, so non-vehicle movement. So this guy is going to go here, and you might as well go inside the command post, just in case. I don't know if we want to give this guy easy pickings, so he's going to back up into the woods, because now that these guys got support, I'm pretty happy with that. And we can always pounce and cat attack later. This guy's only a 3 attack now. But I'm thinking he's just going to stay there because he gets the benefit of the woods, and moving out here, he's just going to be vulnerable to whatever. So, just for fun, though, we're going to move next to the command post. And could he go there and attack those dispersed guys? But they're what? They're a 17 against a 3, so... I think that's where you can't because that's less than 1 to 4. So maybe he'll harass these guys if he's still alive when they come around. Maybe he'll just run in there if he lives. Make that command post 9 vulnerable. So that's it. We fired. Everybody moved. So we can clear movement and we can clear fired. And now we go back to the Russians. No minefield attacks. So we declare shooting. So here we could get, we can't quite get, well, this is where we could fire with him, and let's see what the tanks can do. So the tanks go 1, 2. That is going to be so brutal when they, you know what, we can't because he's in a freaking woods. You got to be next to him. You can't just fire at him. So this would be 1, 2, 3. So I can get 2 tanks up there. Oh, he's dispersed. I can't. This dispersal, you wouldn't think it's a big deal, but it's flipping annoying. I can't run up there with a tank and be next to him for one turn so that he can shoot me with a 40. That'll just be a dead tank. If I get next to him, though, with the infantry, he's only a 20. I don't know if I should run a cav unit up next to him. Because I'm thinking of cat attacking with these guys again to try to knock out one more engineer. We're pretty much down to our last few options to try to eat. I mean, what do we need? We need we got to get 8 or more Germans. And a command post was 5, so I got sucked into wanting to get one of those, but I think I should have been focusing on enemy units, and then if I got lucky and I could attack one of those, great. But I focused on that right away, and I did not see that being that tough. So I'm just trying to think through here. So it's an 18 to 10, so that's going to be a 1-1. If I cat attack, it shifts to a 2-1, and I'd get a -1 on the die roll because he gets a +1 for the woods. That would give me a 33% chance, roughly 33.33% chance of knocking him out. Or do I go for this and start trying to gobble up more targets and now let's see here. So thinking through on that. That's an 18 to 10. It's a 1 to... Oh, wait a minute. Did I say 1 to 2? So I'm attacking with 18 against 10. Oh yeah, it's not quite 2 to 1. So if I attacked with just the infantry, then it's 1 to 2. Yeah, I can't do that. Dang it. And moving the infantry here doesn't do a lot. Well, you know what? I could do that when it's time to move, and then I get a cat attack with 2 units, and he's closer to the fight. So we might do that. Okay. So then the next question is, what do I do with this tank? 1, 2. I guess the cav can't get up next to him. I can't leave him alone. He'll die. So he'll go 1, 2, 3. And he's going to have to join him. These guys can move 1. Just move this stack because that's 2. I think it's 2 for woods. Terrain effects chart woods. Cost 1 moving point. Vehicle units may not move through except roads. Cost move 2. Yeah. Same as clear. This one here I might as well cut across for 3. Or no, it's 4 for wag. I think it's 3. I think it's just trucks. Yeah, it just doesn't say wagons, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. This guy. What is that going to cost me? Apply move back costs out of the accompanying train for entry and movement along gullies. Cost 5 to leave. Other vehicles 3 to leave. So might as well move there for my 1 movement. Clown City. That's the biggest debacle of the night. Okay, so then infantry. 1, 2, 3. He's going to move there, and then they're going to both cat attack here. So it's 18 to 10. So 1 to 1. Yeah, 1 to 1. And then a -2 for cat attacking with a +1 for the woods. So it's 1 to... So I can't get a kill. So that's a complete waste of time. That's a complete waste of time just to disperse that guy. Okay, so I'm going to move him there with him, and then I'll cat attack to try to disperse him. So 3 is a 2. So that's a dispersal. So that's more of an annoyance is about it. And the reason I did that is because they can't kill him. Because the odds we can't get to 2-1. So this will get the cavalry closer next turn in case it matters. And then the infantry will just start moving along. Or maybe he'll hang out here in case he starts trying to bug these guys. But these guys are going to be such a non-factor now. We're going to have to hope we get lucky and get a couple big kills on here. But we'll see what happens. So, dispersals come off. Clear movement. Those stay. I don't know why I clicked on KIA. We want the turn record track. So we are on turn 8. No minefield attacks, so fire attacks. So we have the same thing. We have 17 factors here. They get treated like non-armored because it's even infantry and armor. And they're cut in half because it's non-armored, so it's 17 to 17. Now, these two guys here can add their full strength because they have a range of 4, so that'd be 5, so that's 22 to 17, which isn't going to matter. So maybe what they'll do is they'll move up after this and close assault that one. We'll try that. Maybe we can do that. Okay, so firing this gun and this gun. No other guns can fire because they don't have line of sight because of hills or range. And we're not going to fire any of these little infantry. So 1-1. We need a 3 or less. We get a 4, so that's a non-anything. So then the question is, why did I do that? Fired and flipped, I guess, have the same number. So I got 2 guys on here. So now we'd move armored. We don't have any armor to move, so now we use our vehicles. I don't know why I keep saying armor. Vehicles and then non-vehicles. Okay, so if I move these guys, they got a whopping 5. Because of a security guy who's a complete... We should have that 6 over there. So we got a 5 against 17. That's going to be 1-4. We'd shift to 1-3, and we'd have a -2, so we could disperse them. But then we're out here in this slope versus this juicy woods. So I think we'll stay there. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what we're going to do. We are going to move. I'm going to move this infantry here. This infantry is going to go there. Is that good to do? 10 against a 22 against a 5? No, that's not good to do. I don't know if that's good to do yet either. No, we're not going to move him. We're going to leave him there with his gun. Is that good? That's a 7. He's going to move over on top of the security guy instead. So we got 10 defense there. Okay. And he can't do anything, so clear movement, clear fired, clear dispersed, and on to the Russians. So no minefield attacks, so shooting attacks. Well, if he shoots... Oh, well, we could shoot, because he can't close assault attack. And that cuts the cav in half, though, to 5. Cuts it in half for range and being on a hilltop. It's a 2.5. Cuts the armor in half for... Wow, those hilltops. Hilltops are pretty bad. What do we want to do? Maybe we'll swing around this way. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the tank. And get another tank over here. These are only high explosive. And we'll have to deal with this armor piercer, but that's not He's not a big bad boy. I think we're going to shift our attack then. No reason to go right into the teeth of this clown. And we want to try to keep those mixed because they're still going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, they could swing over here and it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, at best they'd get a 1-to-1. Ooh, I think I know what I'm going to try to do. Vehicles move first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because there's no zone of control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to have to deal with this guy firing at us, but we're going to try to overrun this clown. Not overrun him, but attack him. And then these vehicles. I guess they'll see have restrictions going through there. No, he's technically a vehicle, so he can't move through the green line. So costs 2 to go there. Oh, he'd be able to move a little bit more. And be a big old fat target. Well, whatever. So 2, 2.5, 3. Oops. And then this guy can do the same thing because there's only 2 to go in through the woods. 2.5, 3. So 2, same thing for him. But they can't stack. And that guy will go there for 1 movement. Okay, non-vehicles. 1, 2, 3. Move him up to there. And they're going to cat attack here. We're going to consider it. You do that after all your movement. I don't know what the... I mean, I'm going to move this cav unit 1, 2, 3 to there. If he might as well cat attack there to try to mess with him. But it's going to be at 8 to 10, so 1 to 2 with a -2. All right, so we got a cat attack here and a cat attack maybe here. What do we got? It'll be 10 because they're going uphill. Well, I might as well against 10 against an 11, or no, 16. So 1 to 2. They're both 1 to 2s, and they're in woods. They already have from that, and they got the woods, so they're both 1 to 2s with a +1. So 8 to 10, that's 1 to 2. A +1, but a -2, so it's a -1. Okay, so let's do those cat attacks. They can't cat attack because they're vehicles. So this one first, right? This infantry, this SMG unit attacking these engineers. So combat result table, we end up at a 1 to 2. And then it's a -1 because it's a +1 woods, -2 for cat attacking. So it's a -1. So we need a 3 or less. Oh, we get a 1. So close, yet so far away. But that's just messing with them, keep them from messing with these. At this point, we're just trying to be hanging on to an annoying possibility. Same with this one. So it's going to be basically 10 because they're cut in half. Against 16, so so 1.6, so 1 to 2, and then it's +1 for the woods, -2, so it's 1 to 2, -1. They get a disbursement on the whole stack. Oh my goodness, what you gonna do? So the Russians are pushing. Russians should have did this a long time ago. So they got lucky and dispersed them. These guys are all done. So cat attacks are done, so we can clear movement and we're on to the next. I don't know why I keep hitting the situation. Turn record track. We got 2 more turns, 9 and 10. All right, so Germans, no mine attacks, so firing attacks. And these guys got dispersed, so he can't see. This guy can. So can the guy under him. This guy can. These guys cannot, because if you go along the edge, he gets the benefit. That's in the way. That's in the way. But they could consider cat attacking if we get. But these guys aren't going to get shot at, so they're doing a good job there. Let's figure this out. So if we, you know what? And then there's the whole fire at the weakest unit. If you can get to at least 1 to 4 odds, right? I keep forgetting about that. I keep doing the all or none. Okay, so let's look at what we got for points. So actually, this one is now blocked. Okay, because here's the rule. If you go from center to center, that goes right on that line. That means this is the route and this is the route, and he gets the benefit of the route. So he snuck in just past this little ridge. So what we got here is a 14 and a 6. But because these are armored targets, that's going to be a 7 and a 3. So that's going to be a 10 against a 9 if we go after the weakest guy. So 1 to 1. The problem is if we do that and if we try to move these guys, well, they can only move 1. And you can only stack 3. The other thing is we could go for a quick kill here. Buy a little time. What do we got here? 1, 2, he can't reach. These guys can't shoot at him. So that'd be a 14. I'm telling you, when I first loaded this up, I thought, well, this looks kind of weenie. There's not a lot on the board, not a lot to do. When you were playing your first time, there's a lot of possibilities. So it's not going to be over half, so it's going to be a 14 to 8. So that's 1 to 1. We might as well go with these guys and try to cause them problems. So the Russians got over here, and they are creating a little bit of havoc. Just trying to think about cat attacks or not. They can't move in here in a cat attack because that'd be overstacking. So putting them in between like that really didn't benefit me unless somebody gets killed. I think we're just going to shoot everybody at the weakest unit here because it's going to be a cut in half, right? So it's a 20 down to 10. Because high explosive is... Oh no. It's normal against an armored vehicle at half range or less. Oh wait, the only way the infantry can attack though is if they cat attack. You can't cat attack with the... That doesn't work. Dang it. Kidding me? Alright, so all you guys screaming you can't do that earlier, I caught it. You're good. I guess we got the high explosive gun. Can fire at that dude. And he's only 3 out to here, so he can't even pick on this guy. So I guess we're just going to fire the HE at the weakest unit. It's still 1 to 1 and hope that we can get a dispersal. We got a 2. So we dispersed 1 T-34, which is going to do our cause some good, buy us a little bit of time. All right, so that's firing. So he fired. Now we do movement. These guys can't move. I'm thinking these guys are going to swing around here to deal with this Cav because I think we can hold this off. So these guys are each going to move up here. That infantry is basically giving me some kind of defensive. Oh, but he can fire at the weakest guy. It doesn't matter. Okay, we're gonna move. We're gonna move to here. I don't know if it's. But I'm thinking why lose 2 guys if he shoots, but because they can pick on him. I forgot you can do selective fire, and that 1 tank can fire his 12, which will be a 6 to 1. He's gonna auto kill that guy, and then the infantry's all alone on a clear hex. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Would have been better off putting this gun maybe here. I don't know, but I was kind of using them to fire in this area. You know, if the Rush, because you didn't know which way the Russians are coming, right? Again, lots to think about. I could play this whole scenario over, redo my setup, and be a whole nother game. So hats off to the old 1970s Avalon Hill. Okay, I think that's what we're going to go with. So clear movement. These guys are now undispersed. Oh, I'm going to select the whole stack or nothing. So dispersed. Dispersed. Didn't fire. Cleared him out. So that should be it. Russian turn. No minefield attacks. So shooting attacks. So we got the T-34 under here, right? So let's just look at the chart. Weapons effectiveness. He's armored. I guess he's not an armored vehicle, so it is going to cut it in half a little bit, and it's going to cut in half twice because of the hill. So he's going to only be a 3-to-1. It's still better to move off there, though, because they can't overrun him because of the woods. Can they? Oh, you know what? They could overrun this clown. Because it's only the clear hex that matters. So let's read about overrunning and see if I really biffed up as the Germans. Because that seems like a mean thing to do. Where's overrun? I've never done an overrun, so I want to make sure I do it right. Overrun. Armored vehicles may overrun enemy units in clear terrain, which he is on top of the hill. The overrun or unit or stack of units move the attacking armored vehicle straight through the enemy, exiting into the hex directly opposite the hex of entry. Overrunning units must stop in the exit hex and may not move further that turn. If the exit hex is occupied by enemy units, the overrun may not be made. Overrunning units may not travel at road movement rates during the turn. Overrunning units may have sufficient movement factors available to reach the exit hex, which they should, because a woods costs 1. Vehicles may not move through a green hex side. There's no green hex side there. So it's only 1 to go in there. As you move over the enemy unit or stack of units, execute your attack. This is the only case in which an attack may be. So we know, okay, overrunning units attack with an increased combat. Figure the odds. Basic AF to DF system. Then increase the odds by 1 in favor of the attacker. Subtract 2 from the... Well, I guess we're doing that. Defending stack is treated as 1, so it's a lot like a cat attack. Do not have or double attack factors as shown as the weapon's effectiveness chart. Use only the overrun bonus, so there's none of that to deal with. Alright, you can't overrun units on a block, wreck, or minefield, and you can't with certain self-propelled guns. So, yeah. Okay, so one little teensy-weensy move. If I would have backed up here instead of over here, I couldn't have overrun because it's straight through. But after we're done looking at firing opportunities, we're going to overrun. And I don't think we're going to fire. I think we're going to close assault again. Now, the good thing, I was hoping to close assault with that cavalry, but cavalry can only move 1 and cat attack. So we're still dealing with that. We're going to do a cat attack here, so we have really no firing attacks per se. Because he only has range 3 to that. We're going to overrun him. So we don't have any firing. So we're going to do vehicle movement, and he's going to go boink, boink. Because it's 1, 2. And so now it would be... Well, now you don't use the... I don't think if he's on that hill and he overruns the hill, you even do that. So I think it's a done deal. Let's see if it would matter, because I can look it up later. But let's say he gets cut in half because he's overrunning uphill. I don't know if that's a thing. But you don't use the fact that he's armored against non-armored. So that's still 6 to 1. So he's dead. So it doesn't matter, but I'll have to look that up. I wonder if overrunning up a hill. So that's the second German. And he got overrun, and he is done. Vehicle movement. We got to finish these guys. So these little blocks are so annoying, right? You know, I think, okay, so you can, when you're transporting, was it you could move and unload though, right? Transporting. What did it say? Load, transport, or transfer. So we can move and unload. We're going to do that. We are going to move these dudes. We're going to move them to there. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then unload him right there. Which doesn't really matter. I was thinking maybe it would save me getting cut in half, but it doesn't matter. So we'll go 1 and move there. This guy, what do we got here? Well, this is a high explosive gun with range 10. This is a mortar with range 12. They got a spotter because of the woods. So we'll just move up 1 and unload here, right? Because we don't want everybody in the same hex in case we do get attacked. So we'll move 1 here and unload there. And these guys will move their big 1 movement. Okay, so they can't do anything. They can't fire because that's before movement. But next turn we can help this guy maybe with his firing because we'll have a few more factors. Maybe we can, at the very least, we can keep harassing these engineers in this woods. He's not going to move because he's going to cat attack. This guy is just going to move 1 up to here. The reason I'm going to do that is because next turn I want to move here and then cat attack all at once. I don't want to move up to here and let them cat attack downhill against me. And he can't move, and wouldn't matter because we're moving infantry units anyway. So we got 1 cat attack here. It was at 8 to 10, so 1 to 2 with a -1 because of the +1 for woods, -1 for cat attack. Oh, so 1 at 1 to 2. We're gonna be annoying and disperse him again. So we keep doing our thing, and we got another kill. Don't think it's gonna matter, but you know, it's a beautiful thing. Although the other thing I haven't really thought about is this guy here, and there's technically spotters now, so that anti-tank gun can blaze away at this clown. So probably wasn't the best move, but whatever. We had to do something, right? Because at least we took out an SMG platoon or whatever. I don't know the strengths of these, and we took out this quad gun here. So that's going to do it. So movement is done. Fix this dispersed guy. Turn record track. This is it. This is the final turn. We played out the whole thing. No minefield attacks. Shooting attacks. So let's go look at the charts to make sure. But I think, so basically, weapons effectiveness, it's armor piercing, it's less than half range, so it's double. So that's a 40 to 9. And he can fire at him because there is spotters, so he can see him. Otherwise, you couldn't if he didn't have spotters. Although you can always attack next to you. But if he was like, let's say a hill was here, he couldn't shoot 2 away without spotters. So I think that's what we're going to do with that guy. And do we even want a cat attack with these dudes? If we did, it'd be like 5 and 4 for a big whopping 9. I think we're going to just hold out into the benefit of the woods. Victory turn situation. They got to get 8 or more. They've only killed 2. They got 1 more turn, so I think we'll take our chances and just hold out. But we're going to plunk this tank. So this gun is going to fire. Nobody else can fire because of hill issues. He can't see him because of the trees. I don't think you can fire through multiple trees. I think you can just fire if you're... So So it's going to be 40 to 9, which is going to be 4 to 1. That's an auto kill. So I guess I didn't think that through as the Russian player. Did I get an auto kill? But I did get an auto kill for an auto kill, and at this point, they're toast. It just hasn't went. Didn't go well over here. Got bogged down in trying to fight this war too long, and it didn't matter. Armored movement, none. Infantry movement. He can't really do anything because I could move him here because he's going to overrun him probably next turn. I could move here, but then he could just go here and up, so it's not going to do anything. I guess I could. He can only move 1 to here, so doesn't really matter. He can't move, so we're going to call it a German turn. So undisperse him. Unfire him, and the Russians get their final turn. So firing, not going to fire anybody. Well, no, we can fire these guys. So 7, that's going to be cut in half. It'll be 5, 6, 7, 8.5 to 10. Oh, may as well. So 8.5 to 10 with a +1 for the woods. So it's 1 to 2 in the woods. We better check the weapons effectiveness chart. So it's normal. None of the. Oh, he's armor piercing. So he's got double jeopardy. So we got 5, 3.5, and that'd be 1. And so it'd be 6. A little over 6 to 10. So we're still at 1 to 2 no matter what if they all fire. 1 to 2 with a +1. We need a 1 to have a shot. We got the 1 and dispersed him. And the reason that's a big deal is because if we get lucky, we've dispersed him twice with that guy. We'll see if we can get lucky one more time. I don't think we can get the double D dispersal though, so probably do. I keep thinking a second dispersal is a kill, but it's not. You got to get the DD one, which I don't think we can get. Yeah, it's going to be 1 to 2. We can't get that. Whatever. We could if we get a 1 because we get the double D then. We'll get to that. Okay, so vehicle movement. Boom. Just because I like to know how the board will look at the end. He'll go 3, 4, 5 over on this guy. He's a 3 defense. I don't think there's a penalty overrunning uphill. I don't think that does anything with it. So it's a 12 to so even if it was, so he'd be a 6, so it'd be a 2 to 1. It would go up to a 3 to 1 with a +2. Let's see if it matters, or -2. So there'd be a 3, so he'd be dead anyway. That I got to look up, but I don't think you get the. I don't think the uphill matters when you're overrunning, and he has to stop there. So next turn, obviously, he would have gotten plunked because it'd be doubled. These don't block because he's on a hill, but we don't have to do that. Okay, so now non-infantry movement. So what I'd want to do is move him there, because I want to get all 3 on this one. Might have been better off getting 2 on there. You know what, we're going to move the second guy up there. Because here it's a 16. We'd have 1 to 2, bump it to 1 to 1. Here we get 5, or we get 10 to 10. Yeah, we're going to do that. So he would have moved there, and can he cat attack there? It'd be 5 against 16. I mean, he can. So we will, just for the sake of argument, So he's cat attacking to here. These two guys are cat attacking to there. So this is 10-20 divided in half because of attacking uphill against 10. So it's 10 to 10. We get one. We don't get a shift for the. I keep thinking we get a shift for the engineers. I mean, I keep adding the shift, but that's only if you get an engineer. So it's going to be 1-to-1 with a -1. So we can't kill because of the woods. But we get the dispersal. This one here is attacking uphill, so it's a 5-to-16. So that's 1-to-4. Oh, we can't even do anything. So it didn't matter because with a 0, we end up with a. We needed a -2 total to have a shot. So that would be it. Oh, we have this one here we can try to do. So we have the 8-to-10. So it's 1-to-2 with a -1. Oh no, but you got to get the. We needed a 2. I keep thinking the D is another problem, but it doesn't. I don't know why that's locked in my head. So that's how that would play out roughly. I think I did most of the stuff pretty good. I really got sucked into this whole area here with the fortification. That was a waste of time and energy. I lost 2 tanks messing around there and time. And I still keep getting it locked in my head that I got to attack everybody. And I should be looking at those weak units to try to pick them off first, and get those kills. But anyway, that's situation 1. I look forward to trying situation 2 with what I've learned and using terrain and all that stuff, and just to see. I think I have the card here. Maybe not. Oh, they have them on here. I have the card under here somewhere, but. Situation 2, let's just look at that for fun. That's a lot more stuff. So delaying action against infantry. It's German delaying action. Russian advance on Nikopol. 6-2-44. The vanguards of these Soviet rifle divisions advance on a broad front into the German rear with only a small German mobile force to delay them. So we got a lot of rifle units. We got some trucks and wagons. We do not have a lot of transports. So the infantry are going to have to get, and they only got 1 armored vehicle. That's interesting. So what's the win? Have 1 unit 8 hexes from the north edge. All right. So they come on the north edge. And they're trying to get advancing. Okay. Well, that'll be fun. So they're going to be pushing from the north to south with all these guys. You got looks like a few tanks, 3 tanks and 3 Stoogs. Some half tracks. So that's going to introduce all kinds of interesting stuff. And the Germans move first. I don't think, yeah. Oh, yeah, on this one here, it said the Russians move first. So I think we did scenario 1 right. Okay, well, thanks for joining me. And we'll see you for situation 2 down the road. I'm probably going to switch to one of my other games for a little bit, but I will be back with this. Okay, bye.